Hello everyone and welcome to the CU Minecraft server. This is a server I'm playing for about a year now, and I'd like to record some videos of my time on it just to document it and have some fun along the way. So I reckon we start this series off with a little look at what is on the server, starting with this building right here, the Nexus Nook, previously known as Spawn Point Cottage. It's a little building we have at spawn, just a safe place for people joining the game. I spent my first night hiding in here, to be quite honest, and yeah, but its key function is down here, the teleportation points. Now each player on the server has one of these leading to their base. You step on the pressure plate, and you're there. Just as a nice little quality of life feature to help us get around the server faster. Here, we also have a few other points of convenience, like the Deep Dark for if we want to, I don't know, get into a death loop over and over again for fun. The End, XP farm obviously, and Parkour for fun, which we'll come back to that later, I'm sure. Now let's have a little fly around the server and see what else is there. But Ethan, I hear you say, where's your base? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Shall we go have a look? This is my base. Right now, just a big stone structure that needs plenty of detail. It's a long way off. Definitely not trying to compete with someone. Definitely not. But yeah, this is my base. And one of the things I want to do today, after this little introduction, is plan fully out what happens next. Because right now it's all kind of in my head, but I haven't seen if it all fits. But first I want to show you what's happening here. So down here, we've got my mine down here, but more important, underground here, we've got this extra space between the ground where I'm going to have some building stuff. I'm just building here, probably with my storage back there, and the ceiling above. And here I'm keeping all my villagers currently because I need to build them a proper place. This is my little storage room. Well, I've recently tried to organise it all into some sensible categories so I can actually find things. Food, I need to sort of at some point. Gear. Another thing to say here is keep inventory is on this server. Down here, this is my highly inefficient farming area. We got a sugarcane farm, mob farm, which is fairly successful. It's mainly for gunpowder and string. Dripstone farm, tin furnace smelting array thing, I guess. Bamboo farm, again very small. Lava fuel for the furnaces. Wool farm, these ones have been running for a while, these have still just been added, so. My own moss farm, which is inefficient to say the least. It doesn't produce enough moss to replenish itself with bone meal, so I only use it when I want explicitly moss. So these guys produce me carrots, and these guys down here, wheat. Now on the topic of farms, let's head over to my industrial district, although calling it an industrial district might be a bit generous. But here we have two farms. First one is a slime farm, which is what I'm standing on right now, from, I believe, Eyecraftmc, which I will include a link to that farm in the description. Which isn't too bad. I mean, it requires me to AFK up here, which I haven't done in a while. And obviously I'm aware now we have the new slime farms with oozing potions since I built this that are probably much more efficient. And my other one is my iron farm, which is actually, wow, it's overflowing. As you can see here, I have an ender pearl in a stasis chamber, so whenever I'm online, this farm, the iron farm, gets loaded because there's a pearl here. When I'm all on my own, I'll just load the chunks and get some free iron. Yeah, so this is the design. I don't know if I can really get a good view of it, but you've got 3 villagers in there on beds. You got your zombie. This isn't based on one particular iron farm. It required me kind of googling a lot of stuff because I started from one tutorial, didn't work. I changed things. Like, I was having a pain with this, but this is the design that I have, and it's just kind of your standard iron farm. The zombie to scare the villagers, and thing. And yeah, this is something I added because I don't know. I didn't understand how to have a zombie not be scaring the villagers constantly. So this is literally a daylight sensor into an observer, into a pulse extender. So when it goes to night, this activates and gives them, this activates and gives them a brief moment of sleep so the golems can keep spawning, because if they don't sleep, then they won't spawn. Can we see a golem spawn now? There, I just missed him. And here he goes. Oh, the sounds of an iron farm. All that flying has used up a lot of durability on my elytra. So I reckon this is a good excuse to show you the Enderman farm in the end. Whee! Let me actually go this way, if it would let me fly. Oh, someone just left lots of XP lying around. I would show you the Enderman farm, but someone just left a bunch of XP flowing here. Hi. Who left all this XP? Who is still going? Here's the farm working if you wanted to see it. Yeah, and here's the mess that is our end. And I'm not sure what this is. I don't know what this is, but I know it's functional because of this. It's sitting right here. And I've had to replace these before. I hope I did it right. Because I wanted to kill the dragon. I wanted to get the advancement because I was the one who killed it. So I respawned the dragon. Got some dragon breath as well, I believe. But then, like, this just breaks because if it's on this, it's going to be reset when you respawn the dragon. Now, before we get started working my base, I just want to show you our parkour course. You dump our gear. So this is posted for creative mode. It's just a parkour course with 3 different difficulties. This is the easy difficulty. And this is the reason I have so many deaths on this server. Because if you fall off, it kills you and we have fast respawn to bring you back. But therefore, I've had so many deaths. Let's see if I can do this. Oh my goodness. Okay. I completely overcomplicated that by trying to sprint, jump and stuff. You know, jumping helps. In the spacebar is very helpful. we don't talk about how bad I am at this, because this time I'm going to do it. Come on! Yeah! Ah, I hate that last jump. Hey! Final jump. It's a 4-block jump, which I've done. I can do. I think it's a 4-block. There's definitely a 4-block somewhere I've done. Just back up. Bounce. Bounce. Ah! Okay, no. Sprinting my help. Momentum. Okay, that I kind of cheated there because I tapped as I didn't actually make the jump, but I'll take it.
I could now go and try medium or hard, but I figure I'll spare you guys that pain, and if you guys are interested, then maybe I'll try it.
I reckon the next thing to do is to plan out what this base looks like. As right now, it's just a box. It's just a big box. So let's plan it out with some wool, and just in case I mess up, I'm gonna have these ultimate shears. Yep. Ultimate shears. That's right, these have efficiency 5, unbroken 3, and mending on them. And I got these in a just like loot chest thing when we did our own gamified version of the End Dragon fight. You're ruining the set. You're ruining my. I'm trying to talk to the camera here. Okay, I'm going this way now. So yeah, I got these in the End Dragon. Quiet back there. Yeah, I got these in the stronghold of our own gamified version of it for the End Dragon fight about a year ago now. So I'm going to be using these, actually put them to use finally. Oh, that's so weird. How did he spontaneously catch on fire? Weird. So the Wandering Trainer's mum just disappeared. Strange. I have no clue how that happened. Looking at space, what's missing? Right here. I feel like we're missing something. Like, it's just a big flat wall, and this tiny rock here is not cutting it. I feel like we need to break up these long walls. Maybe less so here. But that's definitely something I want to add. Oh, it sounds like this. I wish I had Swift Sneak. I was holding shift! Okay, I swear, I swear, I promise you, I was holding shift. I was 100% holding shift. Yes, I know I have a bad record of holding shift. But I definitely was holding shift there, okay? I reckon a gate tower here and here. So I was going to go and plan that out quickly. I feel like this feels good. It's a bit, it's not like obtrusive, it's just an extra something. I feel like it breaks up the flow. And my hopes are maybe have like banners and stuff coming down. There's gonna be something interesting in each of these, hopefully, maybe, we'll see. So yeah, I reckon recreate that on this side. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, so next thing I think I want to work on is the pathing around this place. Obviously right now it's just a stone and a bit of grass platform, but I want to have nice paths coming out of here, coming around. So right around there, this area here, I want to be kind of my area. This is where my almost setup is, all my stuff, my storage area will be just below here. So this is kind of like my section, my area right here. This tower, I want to be like broken and formed. I'm going to cut part of that off. Portal, kind of remains of some kind of, there would be like ground pillars here, maybe going over the top of the portal being like a centerpiece. Over here, this is like the villagers area. This is where they moved in, and they'll be using space inside the walls, and this is kind of where my village trading will be in a much more open way than just villager. It'll be some like market stalls and all that stuff. So that's why I want this area. And there's like some fun little builds. So that's what I want to try and do now, is kind of come up with the rough path layout. And I want to work out how do the ruins roughly sit. Oh my goodness, how did I do that? This portal's not centered. That's so annoying. Okay, literally like one block over. Just give me a second. Well, that's much faster with efficiency 5, haste 2.
Okay, so we've made some decent progress here, although I have now run out of wool, so I need to get some more. But you can see we've got those different paths down there, blocked out in yellow, as well as some different rough building structures I want to have, including a purple one here, which is on the edge of the wall. Like I want to have a library almost that's like attached to the wall, so it has a bit more verticality to the base. And then down by the red staircase in this wall here, I want to have like armorers and toolsmiths and kind of like a market in there as well.
Okay, you know what? I'm looking at this again, fresh eyes, and I want to have something here. I was saying like big centerpiece here, and that right next to my little building attached to the edge. I'm not convinced about. But if that's going to be a focal point, I don't want to have the focal point right here. I want to have on this side. I want to have these sides being like this. So I'm not going to flip it this way, but I'm probably going to flip this whole area just around there. So we're going to move this and move this stuff. Okay, so I think I like that. I think that should work. This will probably be the first inner wall I work on, but then I can actually design this. But this is where my librarian villages I think are going to go. So now I want the archery section to come out here-ish.
So the idea of this little part here is, as well as having a place to like put my Fletcher villagers, I also want to have like a little archery competition mini game target shoot thing, where different people on the server are going to come and have a little go, test their accuracy. It's obviously going to be quite small, as you can see by the size of it, but it'll just be a little something I feel will be a fun addition to the base. And it kind of feels like the villagers who are sending you arrows are trying to like convince you, like, you need these arrows because look, you need to practice target shooting. I'm saying, I don't know.
So we'll move an arrow still, so like my Fletcher villagers will be in this area trying to sell you arrows to after you've honed your skills. So this kind of a. So these are gonna kind of be the market stores for like the farmers and all that. Okay, so now I've flipped that around. I've made it green here to just make it a bit easier for me to tell them apart. Basically, it was all just kind of blowing into one big blue color. So this is really the big thing, and it doesn't look great right now, but I feel like that's just because it's all kind of blending in. I feel like the rough essence is there. Basically, you got your building hugging the edge here of the wall, going over, and it's got a tower. It's kind of the rough shape. We've rebuilt the archers area over here. So we've got the archery is going to be here. You get stuff here, and this is where you will have Fletchers and stuff selling stuff. Because I feel that makes sense. And over on this side of the path, I've got the farmers market. So you have the different farmers here, maybe some butchers or something in here, a few other farmers, and then hit back here is the next thing I added, which is basically I want to be like a little cargo area, an area where we're collecting cargo for stock of different things, because this is right under here, which is what we're going to work on next. Because here, I want a crane that's lifting stuff up from another cargo thing I want to add down here. I went up terraforming this a bit, add a nice little path going on here, I don't know. But all I know is I want a crane on this tower here, which is why I flipped everything, because I feel like it just made more sense visual way. And then I can have the cargo platform down there, so it all worked out. So let's build that next. Build up from the top. There's a limit to feather falling 4 apparently. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got a rough layout of the crane. But you can see it's completely on the grid, cardinal directions. This won't stay like that. I'm intending to make it work diagonally. The issue is I don't think I better do that yet. I'm gonna leave this crane as one of the later things in this project of building all this stuff. I think that is basically the rough base layout set out. So just to go over everything, these white boxes are going to be the big entry gates. I've got some inspiration for that I want to try and base these off. But that's going to be the entrances. Should be a nice grand, like ornament fence gates, all that. That should be fun. This blue stuff here, this is my Fletchers and archery course. I'm hoping to kind of make a little mini game out of that, and then maybe some people on the server would want to, have a go. Green boxes here. This is like the farmers market. So my farmers for just wheat and carrots and melons and pumpkins, whatever I end up doing with them, they'll go here. Maybe some butchers as well, just for the theme, and maybe I could then put some animals there. No. The blue bit right there, that is the storage, the drop-off storage area behind the farmers market for the crane. the lovely crane there. That's also needs to be improved. Red there is the entrance into like my main villager trading area, which will be in this wall, I think, and that will be like armorers and all that. So kind of like almost the armory. Then here, past my beacon, we have the library. So that's going to be built up on top of and partially into the wall there. I think that'd be a really nice centerpiece, focal point there. And then finally, just really roughly laid out is my base in quotation marks, my home almost, like where my character lives. And all of that, that'll kind of be almost like their stronghold, and underneath is where my storage area will be. Down there, and obviously this yellow stuff's just the path and the walls and all of that. So yeah, that's kind of our layout basically done for the most part. It kind of just gives an idea of what I'm hoping this to become, and I look forward to working on this, making it kind of shine through and look cool in future episodes. Now you may have noticed all this lovely wall I've got here and how I didn't have all this, didn't even have like green at all or orange at all when I started this segment. And that is all thanks to my lovely Sheep Shearvator 5000 here. I guess, I don't know. Yeah, I built this in between those segments because I had like no wool left and it was kind of a pain. So I really amped up my sheep production. My sheep production? Wool production. From that, like one for each colour on a single block, to, well, this chaos that, yeah, produces a fair amount of wool. So this design is from Xisumavoid's Hermitcraft Season 10 Sheep Wool Farm. Sheep Wool Farm. I keep saying Sheep Wool Farm. I don't know why I keep saying Sheep Wool Farm. I'll try to put a link in the description to the Hermitcraft episode where he built this, and I just kind of effectively looked at when he was showing it and recreated it for this. And I'm already going through a fair number of shears. And despite what anyone says, this totally worked first time. I definitely did not mess up and have not been eating mutton this entire time. Like, I've no way. This mutton is from a completely different source, okay? It's not all due to me being bad at building this thing. Also, side note, in case you didn't know, you want water here. Completely unrelated, but yeah, turns out sheep don't like falling onto onto hoppers from this height over and over again. Apparently, eventually that kind of breaks their legs, and they don't like their legs being broken, and they die. And then the mutton was in these chests. I was like, well, why is there mutton in here? That's weird. Maybe I accidentally killed a few and dropped them down. And I was like, why are there no sheep in here? That's weird. Oh, there was no water there. So yeah, completely unrelated note. My farm worked first time. That I don't know. That wasn't me. That's someone else. You heard someone else speaking right there. That was not me. I would never mess this up. But yeah, put water here, guys. If you're gonna make this farm, like, it's kind of important. How did you get out? Sheep never escaped from this farm. I didn't have any issues transporting them in there. It was all super effective. And that sheep you saw in the background earlier, that I definitely didn't get rid of. Yeah, that was your imagination. Like, you're going crazy. I'm fine. I'm fine. I promise I'm fine. Now I hear you asking, Ethan, did you do anything else between that gap that you're not telling us about? Well, what funny you would ask, because yes I did. First of all, obviously I've got all this stone from clearing out the space for the sheep farm, but I also did some off-camera mining. And yes, I know, it's a thing, but no, I legitimately did go mining. I've got all this deep slate, and yeah, tough, obviously, and most importantly, all these ores. So yeah, I kind of went mining, and yes, I know some of these things aren't ore. I don't know how I got that from mining, but we don't question it. Yeah. But no, I went down and mined these, and I can prove it to you by going down to my mine. Whee! So last time, before this episode started, this was the only part of my strip mine to exist, going all the way down there. I can actually see the end, that's so short. But then I wanted to relax one evening, so I just went and made this. And then a bit later I started another one, but this hasn't gone that far yet. This is the longest one, and it's poke holed a fair way, not all the way, but I did these little pokey holes. But I'm just going to show you how long it is. And here we are, at the end of the tunnel. If you want to know the exact distance, the coordinates at the start were 917. And here, it is 550. 917, 550. 917, 550. 917, 550. 917, 550. A fair ways. So now time to run all the way back. I used up like 4 lots of mutton just sprinting down here. So hopefully I've done enough now to convince you that this is all legitimate. And if not, well, there's not much more I can do. It does bring up a good point I want to discuss though about this server and creative mode. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a SMP, survival multiplayer, mainly. And what I mean by that is twofold. One is mainly multiplayer. Like, it is technically multiplayer, but look at that tab list. Often I will be the only one on, or there will only be a few of us on. Like, I don't think I've seen more than 3 people on this server in a fair while. So, it's kind of sort of multiplayer, kind of a solo world that my friends are also in, but I'm playing solo most of the time, which is completely fine with me. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. Also, it's mainly so for me, it's 100% survival. I have no operators, I have no commands. We have a few here that are like
Quality of life features, basically, but I can't do stuff like /give. That won't work.
we have a few additional things here, and one of them is teleport system, so we can teleport to each other if we want to. Just like the command blocks you saw earlier, to just make life a bit more convenient on this server. This server is just here for us to play around and have fun, so it's not a fully hardcore survival. But what I'm doing when I'm playing, I'm basically fully hardcore survival. I can't switch into creative mode. Look, I'll try, I'll hit the hotkeys. See? I'm not able to switch it. I don't have the permission to do that. The admins on the server, they can. They are allowed to do that, and occasionally they do. So, like, there's a few things on the server that are pasted into creative mode because it's more fun that way, or more convenient that way. Like the parkour that you saw earlier. That was not made in survival. It's got command blocks like that, and was made in creative and copied and pasted in. But for the most part, stuff you see in the server will be in survival, and they'll be made in survival, and everything I've made is in survival. There's one exception to the /give system, and that's these. When we did our Ender Dragon fight, afterwards we went end busting. And we didn't plan to go end busting, so a few of us ran out of food, and as I said, this is just to be as fun as possible. So this one time, we just got given 2 stacks of golden apples something to eat, so we could just keep going. That combined with the TPA ability I showed earlier enabled us to actually find lichens, and it wasn't a huge pain. Because this server is just for fun, it's not fully hardcore, and if I ever use anything like this, I will tell you guys. I'm not going to say, oh look, I built this in survival and it was in creative. But I don't have creative commands, I don't have creative options, I'm going to be playing purely survival, but I just wanted to be transparent that stuff like this occasionally happens. And if it happens, I'll let you know, but it's also not happened for a while, so I doubt it'll happen again. It was just for that one single thing, and in fact, you know what? I've not been using these. I have not used them. That's my FOE. So, they're gone. But yes, thank you everyone for watching this first ever episode of, what am I calling it? CU Craft? CU Minecrafter? CU Minecraft server?
CU SMP.
Whatever I'm calling it. Thank you for watching. We got a good plan for the base. We looked around the server and stuff like this, and yeah, overall I think it went fairly decently. That's just my helmet. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye. Also, at the end of this video is just gonna be 50 million attempts of me to try and land or something.
Oh, okay. Try again.
Know about what's going on.